Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to use the Bedrock Mace. First, you need to learn how to wind charge with netherite armor. As you see, I have netherite armor and I have wind charges. If you throw the wind charges and you don't jump, it won't get you that high. But if you throw the wind charges and then jump at the same time, it will get you a better way of elevation. And so that's how you pop someone. Now, the enchantment you want to use for your maze is recommended Windburst 2, because with Windburst 2, you have more control. So, if you have, like, for example, Windburst 3, it'll set you up really high, and your enemy will have time to react and move out the way, or they'll shield. Now, if you want to learn how to use the mace in a more advanced way, there are multiple ways to do it. For example, wind charging and grappling your pearl with a wind charge. Not that hard, but it is a way to get better height if you want to do more damage. Now, the way the people in the bigger, on the more pro side, use the wind charges maze is they use a punch 2 bow and a lunge 3 spear. So basically what they do is they wind charge, use a bow. 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 Spear. Okay. Now that's the way to use the mace. But other ways that mostly good players use a mace is a fishing rod. The enemy pull them up, and then they, for example this, they do that, or rather they grapple onto their enemy while they're in the air from the mace attack or mace hit. If you don't know what grappling is, it's just whenever you get your enemy in the air and you mace them, you just throw an arrow pearl at them, and when it lands, you just mace them. Like, I could have grappled there, but I'm not that fast. Now, spear macing, it's not really that hard. But using a spear is somewhat complicated, because it depends the way you aim the spear when you lunge. So for example, if you lunge like that, if you lunge and aim down like this, you won't get much distance. But if you aim and then use a spear, you're most likely to get close to the enemy. Now, if you want to bypass their totem by spearing and then macing, I mean that's hard within itself, but if you can swap at that fast, then go ahead. Now, if you want to use the breach mace, then you have to get your sword, which I don't have. Hold on. You have to get your sword, and if your enemy is in full nether armor, then you'll have to put knockback 1 on your netherite sword. So let me do that. Because knockback sword does more knockback to netherite armor. And it's better for that. Only for netherite armor, since netherite armor has knockback resistance. Since it has knockback resistance, if you hit them, for example, with a normal sword, it won't get them damage knockback. So if you can't get damage knockback on them, then you can't put them in a combo, really. They'll just put you in a combo instead. Now, first, putting them in a combo, it's not really that hard. All you really need to do is either bow them, just use a projectile first, and then quickly switch to your sword. If your enemy is running away, then you can just fishing rod them, pull them back, and keep doing that. If they pull away, just pull on down. I mean, that's the way you do it if you're a bro. I don't really see that many players being that. Now, using the breach mace along with this is that you first put them in a combo, and then you keep switching between your breach mace and your sword. So this is basically like attribute swapping. You do damage with the mace for their armor. But if you keep switching, which is hard for me since I'm playing with a finger that bows tap, and I have to keep switching back and forth, which is not gonna get me that much CPS. But for example, like in the combo, they're in the combo. For that, I should switch back to your sword. Now getting this bot, it's not that hard. All you really need are a few commands. Now, if you want them to stand perfectly still, then give them this effect. If you want your bot to have netherite armor for practice, then these are the commands for that. If you want your bot to have a totem, here's the command for that. In reality, macing gets easier as long as you have something to practice on. Because if you won't practice, then you won't get better. Now, elytra macing on Bedrock, it's not really that hard. You don't have to take off your elytra whenever you maze. It's just an option. For me, it's better if you just take off the elytra and switch back to your armor chest piece, because then you wouldn't take damage from your enemy. They only do less damage, but if you keep the elytra on, they'll keep doing more damage to you, since you're missing 4 armor bars, as you see on above the hearts. If you're really that skilled enough to do elytra mace that way, then go right ahead. Now, if you prefer doing this because it's not really that hard and it requires less slot switching, then that's fine. And just remember, this is only for worlds or realms This is not really a servers type of tutorial. If you want that, then just tell me, because I can make that. It's less complicated than Worlds. Goodbye, guys.